Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are on this fine planet. This is Paul Raw coming back at you again. I'm here with the episode of Raw Hip Hop Perspective. Yes, I know I said I would take a break, and I really am after this. But this rabbit hole gets deeper and deeper, you know. But let's start out with the obligatory fair use clause. There we go. You see it on the screen because I'm going to use a clip from the one and only Lord Jamar, the big homie. Hopefully he doesn't flag me, hopefully. Um, but he shares a piece of information that's quite interesting. And honestly, I could use this episode as a part of the snapshot of Peter Pan Africanism. But unfortunately, I couldn't find details or certain details, to really prove it deserves to be in that category, if that makes any sense. But let's keep it moving, man, because I'm going to do this as quick as possible. I've listened back to my episodes, and yes, I need to improve on my speed, accuracy, and also need to, make things clear, speak clearly. I speak as well as I could as a dumb nigga from Brownsville. But that's neither here nor there. But, today we're going to delve into a very interesting guy. He's actually the subject of the second episode of Raw Hip Hop Perspective. He is a Mr. Prazekiel. Let me see if I got that right. Let me see if I got it right. I don't know if it's Prazekiel. I know it's Praz, his rap name, but I don't know if it's Prazakiel or whatever he calls himself. But yeah, let's see. Kazarel. Okay, I was wrong. It's Kazarel, as you can see in the highlighted name. His full name is Kazarel Samuel Michel. Michel, my belle. But yeah, man, excuse me, that's my little hip hop Tourette's. But yeah, man, so we're going back to this guy, I know why. I know you're like, why? You covered it before. Let's see if they have his latest. Here we go. His latest problem with the law on his Wikipedia. Yes, it's right here. On April 26, 2023, Praz was found guilty of 10 criminal counts in the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia. So yeah, it's already there. Let's see his other stuff. Oh no, this is his only legal problem. Wow. Because I have something else that I found, which they don't put under his legal issues. Let's see. No, they really didn't put it there, huh? But I'll show you in a second. Bear with me. Let's do this. Let's keep it rolling. So yeah, man. I ran across a clip from Lord Jamar, and he shared something that's quite interesting. Very, very interesting. As I said earlier or a second ago, it could have fallen under the snapshot of Peter Pan Africanism series. It could have really, but I can't verify certain information, and you'll know what I mean once we play the clip. So let's get into the clip. Let's keep this rolling, baby. Fair use, homie, is for learning purposes, not to learn anything to cast aspersions on anyone. This is all sharing information with everyone, and that's it, homie. That's all it is.
Your boy Pras, man.
Oh shit.
What's up?
Hang on.
FBI informant? What's going on, man?
This motherfucker. Pras Michael. the American rapper, was found guilty of being a motherfucking FBI informant. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up.
This your man's, right?
No, this is not my man. I don't really fuck with this dude right here. And I'm gonna tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, Praz Michaels is not just an FBI informant. He's a piece of shit deadbeat dad. That's right. You heard it here first. Praz, with all the money that he received from being in the Fugees and rubbing elbows with rich, influential people who would give him 20 million here and 100 million there. This man had a son with a sister that I knew. Her name was Star Asia. Her government name was Sherry Hall. He had a baby with the sister, and never, ever, to my knowledge, did anything for this seed at all in any kind of financial, emotional, didn't visit the seed, nothing like that. The sister passed away. And she had a seed with another brother before him. My brother, C Knowledge from Diggable Planets.
So let's pause it right there. Okay, you just heard what Lord Jamar said. He was a deadbeat to a child that I believe was birthed by a Black American woman. Her name is Sherry Hall. Her born name being her name given after she joined some radical cult. That's a joke. Her born name is Star Asia. Given those facts, she's most likely Black American or half Black American, or she could be an ally. Who knows? But yes, that's why I said this could fall under the Snapshot of Peter Pan Africanism series. But I couldn't verify her ethnicity necessarily. I just couldn't find it. But given the facts and Praz's behavior, because sisters, this is what happens, okay? I had my father in my life, but a lot of these dudes, are to a way less degree. Their presence is null and void. That exotic Negro will show you who he is. So yeah, given that background information, I would fare to wager she's Black American. But who knows? But let's look at this guy. This is this guy who raised this man's son is this guy. His rap name is Doodlebug from the Diggable Planets. Diggable Planets. And you just heard Lord Jamar call him C Knowledge. So that's his born name. If my suspicion is correct, who knows? But yeah, this guy raised his child. His background information seems to be Black American too, because he was born in Philadelphia, especially at a time before there were a lot of Liberians in Philadelphia. And yeah, that's just to give you some background information. That's just to give you some background information. But that's the guy. This is his group right here. If you're into hip hop, you know the song "Cool Like That." And you know I can't play it because I don't want to copyright strike. But this is just what I saw growing up in this community. I would like to call it the Pan-African Afrocentric community. You know, it's almost like they hide things so they could look righteous, just to look righteous. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, why didn't DJ Vlad ask Praz about his son that he neglects? You know, is that an immigrant thing? Like, is he looking out for his fellow immigrant? Who knows? But Vlad usually knows everything. That motherfucker is like, God damn, this nigga, I didn't know this shit. And I've read, like, I would sit there and watch his interviews and go, nigga, I've read almost every article on this motherfucker. You know, I used to have subscriptions to almost every rap magazine a long time ago. And yeah, how did this nigga from San Mateo, California know this shit? But that's neither here nor there. But that's just a show, you know. That's a thing in hip hop where people protect certain people just because they look like they're doing good. But we all know why Praz looked like he was doing good. We all know why. It's because of, you know, his latest criminal case with the Malaysian billionaire. But let's continue with Lord Jamar. Let's see what he says. We'll most likely not finish the whole video. It's a whole 17 minutes, but let's continue, please.
When she passed away, C Knowledge, like a man to be commended, took in not only his son, because they were living with her at the time, but also took in Praz's son, so that the brothers would not be separated and suffer any more trauma than they've already suffered through losing their mother. I think C Knowledge may have tried to reach out and, you know, contact this piece of shit, this fucking rat. And, you know, this motherfucker never gave any kind of assistance and all that type of shit. So when I see something like this happen, first of all, I'm not surprised. And then second of all, I'm like, well, that's part of your karma. That's part of your karma, you fucking piece of shit. You know, as a man who has, you know, stuck it out through thick and thin and watched both my children grow up and was there every step of the way. You know, I don't have respect for motherfuckers like this. I don't like fucking niggas like this that don't even acknowledge their seeds, you know what I mean, in any shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? If you couldn't be around, I will fuck it. You know what I mean? Piece the kid off. And I'm not saying you gotta spoil him, but do something. You know what I mean? Don't just put the burden just on the mother or in this case on another man, basically. You know what I mean? On another man who's not even the biological father. Like, that's some real bullshit. So having that type of character, though, it's no wonder that this nigga got caught for what he got caught for. You know what I mean? And now
not punished at all. Yeah.
Now his karma is coming to bite him in the ass. So he was apparently in cahoots.
Okay, let's pause it right there. Ladies, this is what happens a lot of times. It happens all day, every day in the Northeast. From Boston to the DMV, baby. These motherfuckers, especially with those niggas that were doing out-of-town trips, the shower posse motherfuckers, they all spread their seed and abandoned them. You know, one legendary rapper has a child in Maryland that he doesn't acknowledge. You know, I'll leave him nameless because, you know, I don't know for sure. He's alleged to be half Jamaican, alleged, but who knows? So I'll leave him alone. But yeah, man, get yourself a Black American man. We usually stick it out. That's why Lord Jamar stressed that he stuck it out, because Lord Jamar is Black American. Mostly, we know he has certain lineage from a distant ancestor that he wasn't even aware of. No, I think he was aware of, but he didn't grow up in their culture. You know, he's not even, I mean, I grew up in my culture as much as possible. He didn't grow up in it at all. But yeah, man, that's what these men do. And it's funny how we never heard about this in the hip hop media, but let Nas owe Khalees a little bit of child support while you see him releasing album after album, doing tours every year, and we hear about that shit every day. It's like, it's not like this nigga didn't fucking have proof of income. No, that nigga Nas has more than enough income to cover whatever Elise needed. But of course, hip hop media or the media or this non-Black American media, your baller alerts, your shade rooms, your world star hip hop motherfucking sites that are owned by non-Black Americans. We heard about Nas all day, every day. But we didn't hear about this nigga Prazel or Prize Gazorel, whatever the fuck he calls himself, man. But, you know, it's not just, you know, the Black American woman, but it's also, you know, because you know what they do once they do the do with you, maybe get some citizenship, get you to, you know, give them their, you know, ghetto slumming fantasies. They go to what they really dreamed of. Yeah. So yeah, they go to their dream because there's nothing a Black immigrant male wants more than that white cooch. Okay, let's read the title. Ex-Fugees member Pras Michel arrested for lack of child support payment proof. So let's read a little bit of this. I'm not going to read too much. Let's see. Speed read. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. The 47-year-old musician's ex-girlfriend, Angela Severiano, says he owes over $125,000 in child support for their 9-year-old son, Landon. Michael did not deny the claim during the court hearing, January 31st, and admitted he had only $2,000 at the time. How long ago was this? Oh, this is 3 years ago. This is recent. Oh, man. I didn't even get the information, you know, the dates. This is only 3 years ago. Shoot, a little over 3 years, man. So he admits to owing $125,000 in child support to the white woman, but he will deny paternity to the Black woman's child. Ooh, this rabbit hole is deep. It's deep. It's ironic, nigga. It's ironic. Look. No thanks. But yeah, look at his dream. And she's most likely Italian with a hint of Irish. Who knows, you know? But that was his dream. That was his goal. That's his entryway into white America. Because there's nothing a Caribbean loves more than white cooch. I see it all day, every day in the city. I'll see it tomorrow. I'll see it the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow's tomorrow. I will see that shit all day. And the shit is hilarious. Most times is hilarious. but yeah, so he said he only oh no, he said he admitted he had only paid 2,000 at the time. So he's not saying he's broke. Excuse me for the misread. I skip over words so I get through shit because I don't like to read the minutia. Yeah, that shit ain't shit. Ain't not talk with okay, yeah, but let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. No dead air, no dead air. You know. What is this? Okay, but yeah, man, let's get back to the video. Let's see what else Lord Jamar says. Let's see, because I don't think there's anything else. That is the only takeaway from this episode of Raw Hip Hop Perspective, really. It's not the only thing. I'll have some more information after we see what else Lord Jamar says. Okay, here we go.
With basically a political conspiracy. A multi-million-dollar political conspiracy that even had Leonardo DiCaprio ended up having to testify against this motherfucker. Because this guy was funneling money from a now fugitive Malaysian financier through straw donors, meaning donors that don't really exist, and funneling that money into Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. Then later on, trying to squelch a Justice Department investigation and influence an extradition case on behalf of China under the Trump administration.
Let's pause it. Ah, man, it's like the movie Eyes Wide Shut. Shit is right in front of your face. So he worked out a deal with a Asian businessman to secure money for Obama, who's also a African or black immigrant, excuse me, but he's a African. It's like the irony. Woo, this rabbit hole is full of dirt and it's deep. It's deep. It's deep.
Jury found his bitch ass guilty on all 10 counts, including conspiracy and acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. The defense argued that the Grammy-winning rapper from the 90s hip-hop group The Fugees simply wanted to make money and got bad legal advice as he reinvented himself in the world of politics. And not for nothing, Pras needed to reinvent himself in the world of politics, because in the world of hip-hop, Pras was a piece of shit. Let's just put it out there. Like, nobody really fucked with Pras. I don't even know how he was able to pull that ghetto superstar shit off. But he did. You know what I mean? But
that is some real shit. Motherfuckers couldn't stand this motherfucker Pras. But like I said in my other video, given today's rappers, he wasn't terrible, but at the time we said, what the fuck is this? Especially the Mona Lisa song. He had the last verse and he was coming out of the trunk of the car, so it was like quite climactic. And we said, this motherfucker's about to spit the hottest shit ever in a video, you know, that is. And when he started rapping, we was like, what the fuck is this? The girl was good. The first bald-headed dude was good. What the fuck is this dude doing? You know, I think his only verse that I could say that I liked was on Vocab. I said it in the last video probably. But yeah, he's right. We were like, what the fuck is this shit? Who the fuck? But come to find out, this motherfucker Pras started the Fugees. He formed the group. So that's why they most likely let his whackness slide. But yeah, this motherfucker was whacker than a motherfucker. Like, goddamn. But I can't knock the motherfucker. You know, I appreciate motherfuckers that keep at it. Like Jim Jones is a key example. excuse me. There's no way you can knock people sometimes who know they're not good, but they're persistent. Sometimes persistence beats resistance, so can't knock it. But yeah, Lord Jamal was right. That motherfucker was a whacker than a motherfucker. But I think that's all. Let me continue a little more, but I think that's it.
That nigga always had like 8 bars and shit on the Fugees joint. You never heard of 16 bars of Pras. Like nobody wanted to hear fucking 16 bars of this guy. Like he was terrible. Like his delivery, just everything about him. I just did not like this guy, even before I knew he was a piece of shit. But anyway, so yeah, I guess he tried to reinvent himself. I guess when he saw people like Wyclef, making moves in Haiti and fuck around and was gonna run as president and all of that, he wanted to do his own little thing. So whatever, he's got this guy David Kenner as his attorney, saying it's not over.
What's the name of his attorney?
David Kenner, same guy who was like I think he was the attorney for like Suge Knight and all those type of people.
Yeah, Death Row.
He's definitely a big, money guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Pras first met this dude, Low Tech Joe, in 2006. Joe Low was dropping huge sums of money and hobnobbing with the likes of Paris Hilton. Low helped finance Hollywood films, including The Wolf of Wall Street. DiCaprio testified Low had appeared to him as a legitimate businessman, had mentioned wanting to donate to Obama's campaign.
And that's it. I think that's it for that. But yeah, man, the irony, he fucking was working with our competitor to funnel money into a presidential campaign, and our competitor being Asia, period. Everything over there is our competitor when it comes to business, not anything warfare like. But yeah, man, this motherfucker is like you always knew something was up with him, but you didn't pay attention. And I kind of blame the Pan-African community for this shit. Because when the Fugees came around, Pan-Africanism was at an all-time high on the East Coast. It was always there, but it was at an all-time high. So this is like the mid to late 90s and shit, because they came out when I was in fucking, I think the 9th or 10th grade. I don't know. I can't remember. But it was a long time ago. And for me, I was on the West Coast. So I knew about the beef between Black Americans and Haitians in Brooklyn. And it wasn't only just Black Americans versus Haitians. It was Haitians versus Jamaicans. It was Trinidadians versus Jamaicans. It was just a lot of beef. But the Haitians were the pretty much one of the most hostile groups. If I could rank the Caribbeans in order of hostility, I would put Haitians as number one. So when the Fugees hit the scene, all that Pan-Africanism may have been used to make us turn a blind eye to their open hostility. And this is not to cast aspersions on anyone. I'm not saying Haitians are bad people. I'm just going off of memory. And if you go speak to anyone from Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s, they'll tell you they were the ones that really were they were cool people, but they were hostile, man. And I know they'll tell a different story, how, they call us booty scratchers. It was like, shut the fuck up. We called ourselves booty scratchers. Nigga. It was an expression. It wasn't because you were Haitian. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, man. But like I said, I blame this on Pan-Africanism because they didn't vet people, They just didn't vet people. That's just what it was. And they still don't vet people, because if let's look at it from this angle. If the INS can't vet people completely, what makes you think some guy chewing a mint root stick with a kufi and a pair of Timberlands and army fatigues can vet people thoroughly and correctly? Come on, look here. Former Liberian warlord known as Jungle Jabba, Jungle Jabba, sentenced to 30 years in prison for immigration fraud and perjury. But you know, Muhammad Jabata, a violent and ruthless Liberian warlord, also known as Jungle Jabba, who had been living in East Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. That's a suburb, motherfucker. Was sentenced today to 30 years in prison for by U.S. District Judge Paul Diamond. Jabada, 51, was found guilty in October of 2 counts of fraud and immigration documents and 2 counts of perjury. During the height of Liberia's first civil war from 1992 to 1995, remember what I said, let's pause it there. I said Pan-Africanism was at an all-time high in the 90s. So he came here at the right time for us to, you know, really let down our guard and not question him, because, you know, some of these people you kind of suspected something was awry. And I think an episode of New York Undercover elaborated on this or exemplified this awkward disposition. The episode was about a child soldier who immigrated to America, and he just couldn't help but kill people because that's all he knew. Now, again, that's not to cast aspersions or anything. I'm using that as an example that TV show was, you know, filmed in the late 90s. And this guy came over here in like the late 90s. So we were kind of stuck in this mindset where we didn't want to question people, but we also knew something was going on with this guy, some type of neurosis. Who knows? You know, but let's get back to this. First Civil War from 1992 to 1995, Jabata, while serving as commander of a warring faction known as the United Liberation Movement of Liberia for Democracy, committed various acts of shocking brutality, including rape, sexual enslavement, slave labor, murder, mutilation, and ritual cannibalism. He also used children as soldiers. So I'm not going to read anymore. We already see what he did. But, you know, ritual cannibalism. I want to say I'm not saying Africans are cannibals or they're savages. This is what I'm reading from the actual Justice Department, the U.S. Attorney's Office, actually, the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, to be exact. So I'm not calling anybody, you know, not saying that. I'm not saying that Africans are cannibals. I had a Swahili teacher in high school who said that shit, and I knew she was bullshitting me, or I thought she was bullshitting me. And yeah, pretty much I just played her off because I thought she was treating me like a little dumb Black American. But hey, man, this shit is really something else. But let's keep it moving. So going back to my point, if the immigration office can't vet these people, what makes you think your Pan-African, fantastical, dreaming ass can vet these people? And that's to this day. This is not just restricted to the 90s. That's to this day. You don't know who this person is or what this person is. You just don't know. Of course, you have to deal with the people on a case-by-case basis, but you just don't know. And, you know, a lot of these people come here and they're on their best behavior. And you just have to accept them on their word, but what can you do? You know, but to give you a visual of this guy, what can you do if you just meet this guy? He seems very nice. You know, he drops off your DoorDash order, or you work with him on the swing, a graveyard shift at whatever minimum wage job or menial job you have. You don't know. But like I said, I blame this on Pan-Africanism, and I was lured into it at one time. I was a kid. What did I know? But yeah, but you just don't know. And the guy's name, yeah, you see right here, Muhammad Jabata. I would fuck Jabba the Hutt. What the fuck? But yeah, man. But here goes another example. This is something a lot of people don't know about, or they simply didn't care to discuss. This is something that I've known about for years, and this happened well before the whole rise of ADOS, by way of Yvette and Tone and Army, and the rise of FBA by way of Tariq Nasheed. This guy right here is what this is what really got my antennas going at the time. I said, hey, why aren't people covering this guy? This is some weird shit. So this guy right here is Oswald Ayinde. He's a Fuji's video director, or he was director of their most celebrated song, Killing Me Softly. He was director of that video. He wrote the whole treatment and everything. But yeah, let's see what he did. Oh no, let's go down here. Let's go to something official. Here we go. So, New Jersey man sentenced to 90 years for sexually assaulting daughters. So when I read about this and I saw no one say anything, I said, what is going on here? Why isn't this a bigger story in hip hop? It's kind of like that whole Bambaataa shit too. These motherfuckers just cover up their shit. And I'm like, what is going on here? And that's when I kind of blame that Pan-Africanist shit, or Pan-Africanism. That's when I kind of blame Pan-Africanism, because they have to fucking protect these people to save face so they can keep up this little bullshit lie so we could buy into it and waste our time instead of focusing our energy on shit that will improve ourselves and perhaps improve the whole black diaspora. Who knows? But I'm not into saving everybody. I'm not super nigga. But you get the point. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna read the article. It's too sickening. I remember this shit. I don't want to read it. But yeah, he molested his own daughters, and he called it blue blood, or I forgot how he phrased it, but it's pretty much he made it seem like it was some type of royal practice. And we know the royals practice that shit for years, okay? But he called it blue blood, and that's just what it is. I guess that's what he used to convince his wife that it was okay. Sick fuck, may you burn in hell. But when this shit hit, man, when this shit hit, the whole internet, or hip hop internet, ignored it, and they kind of downplayed it. But just to give you a visual of the guy, this is a guy right here. You see his face. You see what he looks like. His name is Oswald Ayinde. So we all knew he wasn't one of us. And that's when I said, hey, this Pan-Africanism shit isn't cracking, because this was in 2013. I knew it wasn't cracking before then, but I said, this is definitely not cracking if you motherfuckers are doing this shit. And now his daughter, is coming out of the shadows, and she has to deal with this reality. My kids are my brothers and sisters, or my kids are my brother and sister. So she has one son and 2 daughters or 3 daughters with her father. And I watched a couple of her videos, but it was just too much for me. That shit turns my stomach and makes me very volatile. Just right now, I want to knock something over, but that's just me. I got issues. But yeah, man. And it's kind of weird that I don't think any of her children came out disabled, because there's particularly her son. Her son, usually genetics or the mixture of a daughter with her father's genes in regards to the male child will automatically make them, I think, I don't know if it's cerebral palsy or they're disabled. We all know, sick. That's why it's so sick. It's sick anyway, whether the child came out healthy or not, it's sick. But God deemed it sick because he said, hey, you're not supposed to do this shit. And this is why. This is your end result, But this is the guy right here. But when this hit the internet a long time ago, it was like, what the fuck is going on here? We all looked at the name. We said, hey, this guy is not one of us. But of course, once we said that, you had Nairaland, or Niger. Niger never carry last. So if they never carry last, they couldn't take this to the chin. So they made sure to say that this guy is not one of them. And I don't believe he's one of us. Because let's see. Let's see, I think his real name will be in here because I remember this shit. Because this is, let's see, yeah, like I said, 2013, right here. And let's look. Yeah, well, I think they put his real name. Ah, damn, I can't see it. Here we go. Allende's original name is Charles / Eric McGill. That's what they say. And going by his last name, McGill, when I read that, I'm like, they're trying, like, throughout this whole time, they try to say it was black, he's Black American, but I said, hey, nah, he's most likely not one of us. He's most likely Caribbean because a lot of Caribbeans have Irish last names, ironically. Not ironically, but, they have Irish last names, a lot of them. And, that's why, you hear about Irish moss from Jamaicans, But yeah, so when they were trying to make us look bad, I said, hey, you're actually making Jamaicans look bad, not us. Now we have, of course, we have Black Americans with Irish last names, but given his features, his location, New Jersey, age, and, I'm not going to say that part, but yeah, I said he's not one of us. But yeah, all throughout the whole Nigerian community, they tried to fucking disown this motherfucker like nobody's business. Let me see if I see something else. Yeah, see, at first they accepted it and took it to the chin, like this article right here. Facts about Oswald Allende, the man who got his daughters pregnant, by way of Buzz, Nigeria. Let's see. Oh no, see, yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, this is another article where they're trying to disown him. But look at this man. This man, I mean, you can't necessarily, say by sight necessarily, but given my background, I could detect them motherfuckers like nobody's business. I'm good at that shit. But that's just me. I had to survive. It was hard out here in Brooklyn. But yeah, man. But that's it, man. I think that's it. I think we're good. We're good. But this is the latest episode or the last video for a while, man. I'm good on this internet shit. One of my ex or comrades screamed. I don't know if they did that. I don't know. But I'm going to leave that alone. I was going to make a video response to that person. They know who they are, but I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not. But another reason I even wanted to do this video is because this is what really kind of like triggered me, because you get tired of these guys, like, God damn, they won't grow up. Like, they're stuck in the past. I looked at this video from DJ Vlad on this guy right here, Lance Rivera. You could tell by the last name. He's of Latin descent. We always knew that. He was Biggie's business partner for Undies Entertainment. He put on Cameron. He put on Junior Mafia. He was the director of the movie The Cookout. And yeah, in this video, he tried to frame Black Americans as, or he tried to take the whole capping or jonesing thing and reframing it as bullying. And that's what I noticed they've done. Like they're trying to reframe things to make themselves look like the victim, even though when you would first meet them, they'll be the ones talking shit first most times. That's why I said Haitians were the most hostile, because they'll be the first ones to talk shit. Not just Haitians alone, but most of them. They'll be the first ones to talk shit. But once you lay it into them and you just lay it into them, then they want to make it seem like you're the bully. They want to clutch their pearls and have that fake outrage hustle and shit. But yeah, man. But yeah, this I won't play the video because Vlad shit doesn't clear the copyright shit at all. And that's why my whole Snapshot of Peter Pan-Africanism series is out of order, because that second video was automatically dinged, but I found a way to still post it. But so the third episode is listed before the second episode, so I'm not going to play it. But this guy, just to give you a visual and what really made me want to make this video, and I'm not even going to speak on this guy too much because he seems very pathological. No offense, you homie. I know why you're that way. Do your thing. But yeah, man, this ties into the whole hiding shit. Because even in his videos where he's talking about Biggie and Tupac's relationship, his timelines are off. He's still trying to paint Pac as the aggressor, Biggie as the innocent little Caribbean kid from a good household, that all that other shit. I remember my homeboy tried to do that shit, you know. Again, if he ever hears this, yeah, he tried to do that shit through messaging me on Facebook, and I was like, nigga, I know where Biggie grew up. I used to hang out over there. Even if he was on a decent block, this nigga had to encounter the hood because he has to get on the train, nigga. And the train station he would have to go to is too long of a walk, you know, going towards a better part. It's too long of a walk. He would have had to interact with people in the hood. But that's neither here nor there. But this guy right here, he tried to frame it like we were bullies, just like joking with him. And, you know, like I said, a lot of times they would start that shit. I remember my 8th birthday party, I was supposed to, you know, celebrate it with my family, but my mother was in the hospital. And so I went to my sister's house. And yeah, all of her friends were talking shit, and they were all fucking little immigrant kids. And at first I took it to the chin. You know, I laughed it off, but that one joke too many made me just let it off, and they couldn't fuck with me because, nigga, I was raised by fucking dark-skinned niggas with good hair. Them niggas are the funniest motherfuckers on earth, nigga. You can't beat a dark-skinned nigga with good hair in America. So, yeah, man, and I noticed that they got mad and shit, so I chilled out, and my birthday went off quite well. We had fun. You know, some of those people I stayed in contact with well after that party. But that story shows how, you know, they start shit, but then they want to play the victim and shit. That's just what they do. You know what I'm saying? And going back to Prize, this nigga Prize, you know, he's been doing all this shit in the background, you know, deadbeat dad, you know, financing campaigns through, you know, through possible agents and, you know, fucking CIA operatives and all this other shit, some espionage shit. But we didn't know until it finally came to the surface. That's why that episode I did on him was open secret. We all knew about these motherfuckers. You know, we all knew about them. We all knew about them because there was no way not to know, because you had to go into these circles, which were the clubs, the streets, and you just had to keep your ear to the street and just know certain shit. So, you know, like for that guy I just had up. Let's put him back up. For this guy, if I encountered him in the 90s, I would know to, you know, not say too much, because this motherfucker, you know, he may want to try to hurt me over nothing, or he may rat me out. You just never know. You know, he may just want to rat me out because he came here and now he, you know, he's now in our community as, hip hop. So, and all of this shit is real weird, It's all real weird, but I really blame this shit on that Pan-Africanism shit. It really made us dull our swords and ignore the things right in front of us, and the shit is really, it has to end. And I'm gonna end it there. Take care.